what is wrong with the minute and a half Tariq Nasheed got up there and said what he said? Where are you going to attack? You can, before you go, if you would like to play the clip again to find a talking point related to what he got there and said to benefit or detriment the reparations task force and the money that they want to allocate.
Reparations.
Okay.
All right, I'll play it again.
And then let our other brothers
But first of all, I want to say you sound like you're on a Twitter space, and this is like a formative hearing. You know what I mean? Everybody don't talk jive.
How's this jive?
I'm just saying.
Play it again. Just play it again.
Text.
Play it again.
First thing we have to understand, we have to focus and keep the emphasis on it being lineage based. The problem is we see a lot of trick bag language being mixed into it.
Lineage base is trick bag language because our lineage stretched back to Africa.
Okay, so now you're finding a point where Tariq Nasheed has a valid talking space, right?
I mean, that's
so we can just continue. If that's something you found that you agree with,
our lineage don't stop at America. Our lineage.
Who said it did? But we need to start having concrete discussions and conversations and solutions to get to maybe the point that you want to have as the end of the road.
Oh, right? No, I haven't showed what I need.
Where it opens the floor for other groups to come in and undermine us. Reparations in the form of lineage-based compensation is not a compensation for racism. Let's be very clear. If we open the door to racism, Hispanics can come in, Asians can come in, Middle Eastern people can come in. It will become affirmative action again, where we are left holding the crumbs and everybody else is holding the cake. So we have to focus on the lineage-based reparations, especially the agreement that our foundational Black American lineage accrued out here in California. In California, this was a state that allowed slavery. People say that this wasn't a slave state. There was informal slavery here. The only reason they made it a technicality to make slavery illegal in California, they didn't want the white wealthy slave owners back east coming here getting all the prime real estate.
And that's just like pseudo babble, bro.
How? Tell me.
Because
what point?
He don't have. He just saying it. He have no.
He's
proof.
Just saying what?
It
what is he?
Wasn't no slavery
what
in California.
It? What do you mean it was no slavery in California?
It wasn't no slavery in California.
How do you have? What evidence you have that there was no slavery in California to dispute what he just said?
None. But he didn't give no facts. He just saying that to emotionalize.
No, he's not, bro. If there was no slavery in California, then they would not be this far in a reparations task force hearing. They're the furthest of any state in the country.
It wasn't no legal slavery in California. I would say that.
If there was not a tangible amount of slavery going on in California, they wouldn't be this far in the reparations task force to actually talk about a figure to allocate to descendants of Black American slaves. Would you say that?
No.
So you're saying that there were no slaves or no structural slavery enough?
They'll still be keeping this mess going because they're trying to get Democratic support. So they know that everybody talking about reparations, so they just trying to throw out.
Because reparations are old, and what Tariq Nasheed is saying in that clip also is pointing out the fact that other groups have been paid reparations. There's no reason why African Americans should not be paid reparations, or Black Americans, or FBAs.
Black people already been paid reparations.
No, they have not. There's no record of Black people being paid reparations, and that's proof.
Look at the welfare system.
The welfare system is not Black people getting paid reparations because that is not exclusive to Black people benefiting off of, right?
But it's Black people benefiting.
No, it's not. No, it's not, bro. If they gave casinos to everybody, then it wouldn't be looked at as Native Americans getting casinos as a point of reparations. If they didn't give Jews reparations, if they didn't give Palestine reparations, not Palestine, but they didn't give Israel reparations.
But you know
they
what welfare is, bro?
They get specific Islanders reparations. They give people from
they had slavery out here, our foundational
the internment camps. So what I'm saying is, if the American government has written out checks exclusively to benefit certain groups that have been impoverished or have been affected in a negative manner by the American government, if they have got checks exclusive to their lineage base, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot point out a point where Black Americans have gotten a check from the American government exclusive to their lineage base that they have not gotten reparations. We cannot use the wrong talking points as what did you just say? Welfare, where there's more white people than Black people in welfare, or affirmative action, or that work for a minority of women than actual Black people to benefit off of as a point of reparation. That's that POC. That's that all ships raise tides. That's that, oh, I'm not gonna do something
I
exclusively for black
understand
people.
that, but right now we can afford to give like exclusively to black people. But welfare was a system that black people could have used to come up under. Instead, we ended up.
How, when you can't have men in the house on like Section 8, stuff like that?
It was still men in the house, even though you couldn't have one, bro. Trust and believe, bro. Niggas knew when to pack their shit and get up out of there. We could have been building,
but that's not a healthy dynamic.
We didn't take the
But you're
advantage of what we was.
But you're acting like having an incentive to not have a father in the home 24/7 is a healthy dynamic for black people to advance, or some type of favor for black people to advance. It's like you're trying to use a structural disadvantage as a token for black people to be at the same point as everybody else.
Well, if you had a man in the home, you shouldn't need welfare. But I'm just saying, if you happen to get it with a man in the home, it's a way you could have benefited that. Even if you just benefiting of, you say, bro, just babbling. Shut up, Apple. But you could have flipped that and made something twerk. Of course, it's not no check. Of course, you know you want a check, but some people did get cash. Some people got cash, bro. Some people got cash, bro.
All I'm saying is this: other groups have been paid reparations directly to their lineage. We just went down them. I just told you.
I didn't hear you.
No, well, if you didn't hear me, we can play it back. I'm not gonna say it again.
What group got paid? One group,
bro. We talked about the Jewish people got paid. We talked
the
about
Jewish people got paid from Germany, bro.
Bro,
The
you don't
Jewish
know that
people
America
didn't get
still
paid
pays.
from America.
America still does pay certain reparations, bro, and America does pay.
No, but
does
they
pay
got
money
their official
to
reparation
Israel.
from Germany.
But listen, reparations is reparations. We talk about the Native Americans got the reparations. We talk about the Asian Americans got the reparations. Pacific Islanders just got the reparations a couple years ago. Trust me, I dated one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
from who?
From the American government. The American government is document. You probably seen the picture because everybody who preaches reparations at a certain point posts the same graph of the year and the date that all these other groups got the reparations from the American government for the atrocities that the American government has bestowed upon to their race.
But
and the only people that got paid are the black Americans, knowing we have one of the most documented and historical atrocities in the history of civilization, especially modern civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting up here trying to debate that all these other groups, yeah, they may have went through a year or two, maybe 4 years max, 5 years max, outside of the Native Americans, of a detriment and a desecration of their race and their genetics. But these black Americans have 400 plus years, including today. And now we're going to sit around here and say, out of all these groups, your group should not get the same type of payment reparations that all these other groups have had. Is that what you're trying to say? Knowing that you have the same qualifications, if not more, than the rest of these groups.
We know how America works, right?
Right.
America been working like this for a while. So the government allowed slavery, but slavery was benefited mostly by the private sector. You know what I mean? So certain people,
the Aetna's insurance companies of the world,
slaves. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for you to go to the U.S. government just because they allow people to benefit off slavery in the country, that's kind of, it's not going to work. That's what I'm saying. The government don't owe you reparation because you might have been owned by another black person. See, we don't ever want to talk about that, but it's very likely you could have been owned by a Native American because it's a lot of Native American owned slavery. You know what I mean? It's a lot of white people that own slaves too. So slavery is more of a private sector thing. And I think we've been told more of the horror stories of slavery, but when slavery was no longer beneficial, they just let us go, bro. But I don't think it was like something that the American government owe us. The government, like, you got to think, you asking us to pay reparation. You got motherfuckers, the highest earners in this country is motherfuckers from India, bro, and Asia. Yeah. China own most of the country, land and stuff in America. You asking these people to pay you reparation. These people don't have nothing to do with reparations.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got white people that literally never benefited off reparations. So I don't think it's just a thing where we
what
could
do
you
mean? Hold on. Why does white people's benefit off reparations have anything to do with black people?
You got white people never benefited off of slavery. I'm sorry.
What does certain groups of white people not benefiting off of slavery have anything to do with black people having justified reasons for getting slavery?
Now, reparations. Y'all would get reparations from the U.S. government.
That's what they're asking for.
If y'all would ask reparations for racism. See, Tariq Nasheed taking y'all out the game.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because racism is subjective. Slavery is a documented point in time to where injustices, free labors, and atrocities has happened, to where it's concrete evidence that's irrefutable. Racism is subjective based off of who's the judge and juror of what was racist.
But the U.S. government benefited off of racism. They did really,
of course, but they benefited off of slavery. Yes, they did, bro. When you get free labor and built cotton industries and certain exports, every other country imports or
But that
things
was
that.
the
Hold,
private
listen,
sector.
but listen, no, this is what I'm saying. Every other country, whatever their agricultural exports are, they have a payment structural system for. America was the only country at a time in history that was getting mass amounts of free labor in order to build the wealth of the businessmen and to make this the richest country in the world. This was the youngest country and the richest country in the world because it was built off of free labor. So you cannot turn around and tell the same people you built the free labor off of that they don't deserve payment for the position that the country that they're in is in now. People who built the White House, fingerprints and handprints are still on Charleston, South Carolina walls and streets, are the same people you're telling me and everybody else don't deserve to be paid for the work that they put forth in America.
The people then deserve to be paid. The people that's living now got all the opportunity in the world, don't deserve to be paid. That's what I'm saying. The people who actually did the work deserve it. The people that's here now, they still got the opportunity.
But you can't say that, bro, because you can't say that because the ancestors of the same people who got free labor are the same people that might be in charge now, or they really are in charge now. So they're benefiting off of their great granddaddy's actions, and I should be able to benefit off my great granddaddy's work because you're in the position you're in because of generational wealth. I'm in the position I'm in because of the deprivation of generational wealth accumulated by your people. So there should be some type of trade-off to put me in a balanced position based off of the hard labor that my people put on this same land. That is a fair trade. That is a fair discussion. If I did something for you, I should be fairly compensated. And if I don't get compensated, my offspring should be compensated in the afterlife.
But we can't prove that your people weren't just a lazy motherfucker. See, we want to create
because you want to think people. No, because you want to think. No, it's crazy. No, it's crazy. No, it's crazy. That is an underminement of slavery because you just assumed niggas could be lazy, non-working motherfuckers during slavery.
Yes.
You assume. No. You say yes, like there's any documents of just lazy niggas surviving, not working slavery. Those lazy niggas get beat to death and killed. No, you're telling me that a lazy motherfucker who won't work is actually a valuable person to sell during slavery. If you're not working, you will be beat to death. You will be killed and made an example of. So this whole notion of black people being lazy was only put forth after slavery when black people refused to work for white people for free. That's when niggas would start called lazy. You cannot say niggas is lazy when you have 400 years of making the richest country in the world by the unpaid labor that you put forth. But you cannot call certain people lazy.
Not nigga was lazy, but you can't prove that your people wasn't a slave owner. We can't prove that you body was a free man. You can't prove nothing. You might have been a runaway. Your people might have been a runaway. We don't know. That's why I'm saying.
Your people being a runaway, you still deserve to get reparations because you shouldn't be running away from slavery. You shouldn't be running away from slavery in the first place. Especially, you had American Revolution, this is free country, free will of all these men, First, Second, Third Amendment, all this other shit. So what I'm trying to say is you cannot be trying to pull back the same points and narratives and what do we call these?
But like I
mission statements as a company.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
The Jewish people, they got their reparations from Germany. The people who actually did the trauma. We need to be going to get our reparations from Africa, the people who actually benefited off of selling us. See, we want to be hyper focused on what's going on here. It's actually people that allow people. See, we like to make it like, we were kidnapped. No, bro. It was people that benefited off of us. You got people that was like Middle Eastern that was selling us, bro. Yes, bro. Yes, bro. We got sold, bro. We got sold.
J-Dub.
We got sold, bro.
We got sold, right?
By Africans.
So what is that? What is that point saying that we got sold by other Africans? You're saying we should go to Africa, a place where they're disorganized, they're under rule by the same people we are, and we should be trying to get reparations from people who can't even give us reparations because their money is controlled by the same people we're trying to get reparations from. So you're saying go to the middleman to get paid directly by the white man. That's what you're saying. You're saying let the African man shortstop you, let the African man be the conduit to the white man's bank account to get you the money, and you know damn well those. I'm not trying to be xenophobic, but you know Africans are not formally known as being great businessmen and paying you out to a proper amount.
Find yourself in the uphill battle.
No, it's not, because you want to go.
They sold you. Your people sold you.
What you're telling us to do is go through a middleman.
No,
and what we're saying is we're going to go directly to the plug. Why are we going to go to the Africans when the Africans are owned by the British, the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Asians? So why am I going to people who have to go to somebody else to give me some money they don't even have? Because if they had it, these other countries wouldn't be in their land paying out to take over.
That's
right?
Like saying, that's like asking the government to pay for us twice.
No, it's not. You're basically going to ask a nigga who already is loaning money from the same people to pay us. They can't even afford to keep these people out of their country, and you expect them to pay us some type of reparations.
But they who's ultimately responsible.
And on top of that, and then now you're asking to get paid in what? African Zimbabwe money, nigga?
But if I'm telling you,
you want to get paid in Zimbabwe money? That's what you're asking for, right?
We have to hold the people.
So you want to get? Let me ask you a question. So you want to get paid in Zimbabwe money or the American dollar? Let me ask you that question.
I want the people to actually be held responsible to be held responsible.
The people held responsible for slavery are the people who bought us and sold us. Why?
They sold us. Thank you. Long as you stay with them too.
It is those, but guess who got the money? And guess who's controlling the people who sold us?
Mm-hmm.
The people who bought us. So we have to go to the people who have the money to get the money. I'm not going to go through the middleman to get the plug. If your number is 17, but the plug is 13, well, I'm going to go to you. You get 17, you eating 4K off me, and I know that you might not even come back with the work. You might not even come back with the work.
Listen, bro, they don't have to get money. You could protest. You could say, yo, Zimbabwe, whatever y'all sold us, y'all giving us X amount of land and do whatever we want to do as foundational Black Americans that was sold into slavery. We coming back and we're saying, y'all don't got the money, fine. But we taking all the land that we want until we satisfy the people. Why not do that? Why not do that? It's a question.
Because Africans can't afford to give their land to anybody.
No, bro. They're
selling their land off because they have bad loans and debts. So where the people that they have, that these debts have interest to, have so high interest that instead of just taking their money that they don't have, they have begun to take over their land. Mm-hmm. You look at Jamaica. Look at some of these Caribbean islands that are being taken over by foreign countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are not financially structured enough to prevent these other countries by moving in and buying land at mass, right? So why are you going to go to these same countries and demand money they do not have because they have already taken out loans with foreign countries who have already came over to take over that same land that you're trying to tell you're trying to tell them that should be your birthright because they sold you. You're trying to go to a nigga who's going bankrupt to pay you money they don't have. So why don't go to the bank that already is their creditor and get the money directly from them, right? That would be the smart decision.
I feel like we should be building as Black people from where we are. I feel like going back, trying to correct the wrong and just try to stop it white people, that shows hypocrisy because we were sold by other Black people and we got them same Black on Black atrocities happen now. Instead of trying to build from where we at, I don't think we should go back and try to benefit off of what our ancestors did in the form of money payment when we know really the US dollar is not really worth anything. We should be trying to go get land from people that actually sold us into slavery, and we should be trying to get some land just for what we were promised from the US government as far as like 40 acres in the mural. I see land all over Jacksonville just unused, bro.
Okay, so
I feel like that should be handed down, but all this cash payment.
So listen, if you believe that there should be reparations handed down in some form, why are you kicking dust at the only few reparation movements that gain steam? Even if you don't fully agree with what's being paid out, you still should be support, especially if it's a direct cash payment, because at the end of the day, don't give me land that I can't grow food in. Don't give me property that has no value. Give me money, the same thing you have. You had money and you made decisions with money. So give me the same resources you had to make your generational wealth. Don't start giving me items. Give me money.
No, they had land, bro. They had no money. Money wasn't worth nothing back then.
Man, come on, let's play this clip.
Let me show you why I'm mad. Because this is what FBA get out there and start doing at the reparation hearing. Tariq Nasheed sitting up there looking like Tupac Shakur, Las Vegas Friday night. Looking like
30 people in the chat. Make sure to like, reflect the viewers. Hit the cash app, Florida J down on 4. Keep going, J Dub.
Looking like Flex Suge Knight being hugged back
Flex Knight.
Beefing with some other black people at the reparation hearing. And I want y'all to notice the white man sitting in the middle, just chilling.
Can we blow this up?
So you argue with another black man, not to be held back. Either with a fed coming. Be part of the more scientific. So we're not serious about getting reparations, bro.
Why? Because you get a clip of some niggas arguing with Tariq Nasheed?
Yes.
Where's your context of issues with
it don't matter. It don't even matter.
Hey, yo. Hey, once again, hey, listen, who is this account? This is Avo?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm putting this user in timeout only because, like, I don't need you spamming the chat. Like, give other people times, you know.
This is what I'm saying, bro.
Opportunities to talk, man. Just, like, relax on the chat for a little bit.
We're not going to see no Asians at the hearing talking about money and they being there arguing.
Why do you come? Why? So are Asians your standard of class?
No, I'm just talking about it is a standard of class. That's what I'm saying.
Is it more? Is it universal or is it?
It's more universal. We all should know it.
Okay,
bad people did take away the class. That's what I'm saying. And then
How do you know that nigga in the green shirt wasn't an agent that ran up on Tariq? And the person who's recording is not an agent who's filming the agent ran up on Tariq.
Nah, bro.
Now, what do you mean? I'm just asking the question.
Tariq don't go nowhere, bro. So he quite convenient when he go out, somebody running up on him.
So if somebody ran up on him, does that mean that they're running up on him for a justified reason or they're running up on him for clout? How do you know the person that's not running up on him is not running up on him for clout? That's what I'm saying too. Like,
because he said, because the people that was talking before, he said something before they got in a fight.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have context to why that guy entered?
It don't matter.
It does matter.
Tariq blackity black. You shouldn't be arguing with no black people.
What do you mean you shouldn't be? So
yes, you should. Around kissing black people ass.
No, you should not. Not if you're being disrespected by somebody who's black. You shouldn't just go around like black people kick dust all over you because you pro-black. Nobody subscribes to that either. You can't be sitting here demanding reparations and let niggas talk to you crazy like you some punk either. So from what I've seen, I don't know why the guy rushed Tariq Nasheed. I feel like whatever Tariq Nasheed said up there was pretty, concise. It was short. It was sweet. It was to the point. And it was for reparations. So I don't understand why anybody who would also be for reparations, I heard what Tariq Nasheed said, would have an issue with him to the point where you had to address him in that aggressive manner. So when I see that, I don't discount anything Tariq Nasheed said or did when he brought himself to that reparations hearing. I more question who is the person who kicked up dust with him, and is that maybe somebody who's an agent, and was that supposedly on film to diminish the reparations movement after he said what he said?
No, that wasn't there for that. Tariq Nasheed said something to the guy why him and his woman was saying something on the mic to the people that was in the hearing, and then they turned around and kind of, went back and forth with Tariq. The real video I saw, but I can't find that one right now. But it was just a mess, all type of confusion, I feel like black people in America, another reason why we don't need reparation, because plenty of us make money right now. I'm telling us, we got a whole bunch of black people that's here right now. We put our money together, bro. We can make amazing things happen right here in America.
Salute to the $10 cash app. I see you. Salute.
We don't work together, bro. We don't work together, and I feel like that should be our reparations. Learning how to work together to make shit happen, bro. Cause it don't matter. We want to feel like, yo, we get a whole bunch of money, then we're gonna work together.
Listen,
I don't
feel
think
like
it work like that.
I feel like what, in my opinion, said Tariq was on point with his 2 minutes. I don't see anything he said wrong, and I don't see anything that he did when he came up there to warrant any type of niggas to cause friction with him. Because niggas did, and all I did was hear what Tariq Nasheed said. I'm gonna shout Tariq Nasheed because I don't feel like there's anything he did wrong, and there's nothing he said that was wrong. So for me, the verdict, Tariq Nasheed gets out clear for me. What about you?
Man, I mean, salute to Tariq Nasheed, King Flex, Pimpin' T.
Pushing the reparations movement forward, pushing pro-black, anti-black violence movement forward, pushing black entrepreneur system and black businessmen forward. So Tariq Nasheed, man, with his King Flex suit on.
Yeah, but salute, man.
Yeah, man. OG, double OG, triple OG, showing niggas how to get that money.